tremendous looking trophy.
Welcome to the number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Don Blight. Joining me, as always, Ashley Hobley.
John, excited to be here. Another busy news week here at the PlayStation offices. No.
Offices?
Platinum Explosion offices. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, it's very good. It is a huge week in PlayStation news because we have a massive exclusive actually finally happening after 10 years coming to PlayStation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just you wait. But, I mean, we've been waiting a millennia, no? For this thing that, you know, I'm making into a meme at this point. And people who really like this game are probably like, stop making jokes. But I'm not. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I realized? Do me a live test. I did this yesterday. And tell me if it's just my Google being more transfixed to me. Because if this goes horribly wrong, I will 100% edit it out of the podcast because it will be embarrassing. Go to Google. Okay. Type in best PlayStation podcast. And you should see us.
Yeah.
Fucking LUs are like, oh, you're making it up. You're making the thing up. Look, I sent a check over to Mr. Google. Officially. All yous out there. You want to type in best PlayStation podcast? You want to see who else is there? It's us. It's Pierce, I Love You. The Trophy Room. Beyond. Other ones that...
Something to do with some symbols.
Yes. I don't know. I'm just... Triangle Squared. There's other ones. But we're there. You know? I don't know how this is what relates to this factor. But this is 100% admitting...
Consistency,
maybe. This also shows the fact that, yes, much like Googling your own name, I did Google Best PlayStation Podcast to see where and how many pages through Google it would take to find us out of interest. And lo and behold, didn't take that long. There you go. So who is the number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias, Ash?
Don't know.
Right. PlayStation.
Don't know. It's weird blank space.
I wonder if that comes up. Oceanias. Number one PlayStation. Well, if you type number one PlayStation podcast in Oceania, it does come up with us, which I guess makes sense because no one else has that in the description. Oceanias? How do I spell it? OCEAN.
It's Oceania with an S.
S, yeah, right. I was like, I didn't. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the funny thing. So if you type in, ready for this? If you put the no apostrophe, right? Just S on the end of it, so it's Oceanias. For the players. It's the top result from au.chartu.com. I don't know what the fuck that is. Congratulations, Ryan. You're officially the number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. Without an apostrophe.
No, when I put best PlayStation podcast Oceanias without an apostrophe, we're number one.
All right. Very good. It should be.
Fuck you, Ryan.
Fuck you, Ryan. Ryan will probably be down for this. I've thought about this before. Let me pitch something on air and hope that Ryan's listening. We should do at PAX or in the lead up to a PAX. I want to put this out there, so maybe it'll help to have like listener like opinion on if this is a good idea, because then there'll be enough time for people to forget. In the lead up to PAX 2022, a thing that is 100% going to happen. We should have heat. We should do
promos.
We should do promos. We should have heat. We should decide what's going down, and then at PAX, we should do the equivalent of whatever a WrestleMania for podcast. I don't know.
Just a bunch of PlayStation focused matches.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Something
we should do that, and I don't know if we then have to. But do we commit to kayfabe and like, or do you just go pick some PlayStation games and we have a competition to crown the PlayStation gaming winner, or do we fix it? You know, so there's a storyline. So there's a storyline. Because I don't know. I honestly don't know if I'd rather play a heel or a face in this PlayStation War. You know what I mean? I feel like it would have to be heels. I feel like we're more heels. I feel like you're 100% more a heel. Like, there's no doubt about that on the show. Yeah, on this show, you're definitely a heel. And I feel like, ultimately, the show is more angled towards us being heels solely because we are the ones out here every week going, the number one PlayStation podcast in the ocean. Does that not sound heelish in the scheme of, like, you know?
I guess.
Yeah.
You know, it's much easier to be the heels, right?
Ryan's like,
it's much easier to be.
let me tell you about how losing weight's good for you. Here's a promo code to get off the man shake. Oh, yeah. Come on, that's way more face. We're definitely heels.
Yeah.
So if we
eat
fix
your vitamins, right?
if we fix it, because wrestling is no, I think we would have to lose. Anyway, how do we feel about that, everyone listening, as a side bit? And then, let's decide if we'll do that, because then enough time will pass that everyone will forget that we spoke about this, and then we'll have it happen. We'll get around.
And then out of the blue, we'll just call.
Yeah, we'll get to like August next year, and I'm sitting on here going, man, that Ryan Betson. Piece of shit. Couldn't play games to save his life. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. Go listen to For the Players, the Pop Culture's PlayStation podcast.
They're probably having the exact same idea right now. Yeah.
I really hope that. I hope they've had the same idea, because then it would be perfect. I also hope that if Ryan's listening, because I don't expect him to listen all the time, but if he is listening, I hope he's sitting there going, yes. No, firstly, fuck you, Dylan. But also, yes. You know, like, he'd be down, I reckon. He'd be down. 100%. He wants to wrestle for real, though.
I'm pretty sure.
So he'll probably just chuck
at
me
the
off
end of the show, he'll just hit you with a one-winged angel.
I can go back to, like, my days I wanted to be, like, in Jackass and shit, and we'll just, like, combine it. Like, he wants to be a real wrestler. He can just, like, chuck me off the stage. I land into a bunch of chairs, break my back.
Yep. PAX gets sued. End of PAX.
They're like, why'd you do that? This is the worst thing to happen in an Australian convention centre since Greg Miller scolded a bunch of beers and made a mess for everyone. All right, let's get into the show. I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
That's not true. There was that incident with Supernovas. That's probably the worst.
That's actually the worst, yeah. I mean, that's probably the legit worst, yes. That's a real thing. But also, they were apparently angry at Greg over the. So the story goes anyway. Whatever the Sydney is it Sydney Convention Centre? Is that just
because it was like brand new. So.
Yeah, it was brand new.
Now it's all beer soaked.
Yeah, and now it's just sticky everywhere, like a Sydney bar. All right, Spider-Man. That's what I was memeing about. Yeah, I was like, what, is that the end of the show?
What a transition.
Yeah, it's fine. WellPlayed. Right. Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics have updated the post-launch content roadmap for Marvel's Avengers, with everyone's favorite friendly neighborhood Spider-Man finally swinging in as a playable character for PlayStation gamers on November 30th. This news comes over a year after the publisher announced that the iconic web slinger would be released as a playable character exclusively for PS4 and PS5 versions of the game. The character will be releasing alongside the With Great Power Hero event, which will embed unlockable challenges throughout the Avengers initiative, telling the story of Peter Parker's quest to stop the Synthoid army. While the Sony exclusive is naturally disappointing for any PC and Xbox gamers, there's still a slew of other content dropping on the same day that's worth getting excited for. You love the web slinger? Are you booting up Avengers?
I love the web slinger.
Or, what are you doing?
I've probably still got it around somewhere.
You don't trade stuff in. This is something I know. So
I don't. Yeah. It's like that collector element, you know? Like just hoarding stuff. I think that will be the point where I jump back in.
Have you jumped back in at all since?
No.
Nothing. By then, Black Panther, nothing. Scratched your.
No. Well, yeah, I keep saying I should jump back in, but then something comes up.
Got other shit to do.
And there's nothing else coming out the rest of this year, so it's all good. Right?
Death's Door?
Yeah, but that comes out like the 23rd, so it's all good.
When's this out? I've already forgot what I just read. November 30th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're good. There's nothing coming out this year that you care about, is the joke, I believe.
Yes, that's sure, let's go with that.
I actually don't.
Except for I'll make some time to play Among Us. You'll finally bite the bullet and play the game that you hate when it comes to consoles.
What else are we looking at?
6th of December.
PlayStation Wires, Grand Theft Auto Trilogy if you care. Skyrim Special Edition if you care. There's a lot of if you cares here. And Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1.
There's nothing must play.
if you're interested in that. Battlefield 2042. That's pretty, like, as far as I know, it's not exclusive, but that's still something.
That's probably a big game.
Dev Store. Solar Ash still comes out. That got delayed from the start of this month to next month. That's one that people are excited about. Chorus. Remember the space shooty thing that was promoted as an Xbox thing?
No. I'm more interested. I'm on Team Adventure Musical called Chorus.
Adventure Musical?
Remember that?
No.
You remember the Kickstarter game that was...
Oh, yeah. What happened to that?
Australian developed?
Yeah. What happened to that?
It's still making it.
Okay.
But another game came along and stole its name.
That's true. Good point. Other than that, yeah, Among Us is the 14th, to clarify for everyone who heard me making jokes on the Arcade Couch this past Monday. Not the 9th, the 14th. Yeah, so I guess that's me, as far as care. Yeah. And Avengers. All right. Behind the scenes of Ghostbusters Afterlife in Dreams, PlayStation blog. How Media Molecule, Sony Pictures, and Dreams community capture the Ghostbusters spirit in a pinball-inspired game collaboration. Who writes this? Jen Simpkins, editorial manager at Media Molecule. What do ghostbusting game development have in common? More than you'd think, it turns out. But there's one thing that comes to mind above all else. Teamwork. Available to play in Dreams from today until February 28th, 2022. Ghostbusters Afterlife in Dreams is the result of an 18-week-long collaboration between Media Molecule, Sony Pictures, and the Dreams community. After being contacted via social media, Impy award-winning community creators Guillermo Chevalier, aka Slum Mackenzie, and Alfred Nilsson, aka Vincent. We know that one, right? I swear I recognize that name. Bavison. What have they done? I recognize this.
Yeah. Bavison did Duet. Remember the cute, like...
Crocodile.
Crocodile one?
Yeah.
And I will say, it's cool. The links in this article go straight
Green
to the
Guy
Dreams page.
Music. Green Guy Music. That was the thing also. That was the other thing. But yes. What was you saying?
No, I was just saying that it's cool that the links on this go straight to their Dreams page.
Yeah, well, it is handy because it's like, well, if you want to see what they've done, we've literally got a way you can do that via the Dreams. The Dream webpage, I think, is underrated. Like, it is quite useful of a like integration to the game and how it works. It is quite good. Kind of wish they'd done an app for it personally, but
there's still time.
So they got contacted and soon found themselves in meetings with Media Molecule's Director of Operations and Strategic Initiatives, Gemma Abdeen, to discuss an opportunity. They got asked, they didn't know what the hell to be on about. So then they got found out, hey, do you want to do a Ghostbusters project? And they were both really excited. And what they've made is does it say how long this is roughly? No, it doesn't really, does it?
No.
But yeah,
It doesn't look terribly long. Yeah.
Doesn't look terribly long. But so there's a video up on the PlayStation channel. Just making sure which channel it is. Showing off the game. With
The game,
the
the cast of Ghostbusters.
Cast of Ghostbusters are playing it. And yeah, I mean, it is in a room and you got the little marshmallow is that how you say it? Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Yeah, they're little mini ones from this. They're like running across the floor and you use the, you got to blast them to death, I guess. It's like sort of what's going on here. But it's quite funny because it does look like a legit game. And I think this is pretty cool. Like, it doesn't look like something you'd pay a bunch of money for, but it does look like cool little thing. And what it's actually made me think of is, do you remember like when they put out those last couple Spider-Man movies, they had the VR tie-in things, and they were free, and they were like obviously just making them for marketing reasons to like a cross between
tie-ins,
because they're like a Sony thing. So they've done this for Ghostbusters instead of creating a game from the ground up that they could do free. And they could have made this game from the ground up and done it free. But instead, they've contacted Dreams creators to do it, which is also really good for Dreams and a way to collaborate and show off the potential of what you can actually do inside Dreams. And I think that's really cool. With the asterisks that I'm about to throw out there. The asterisk is, do you want to guess what my little question I don't think this article answers?
Hopefully they were paid.
Correct. Were they paid? And I'm going to hope the God that they were. Because this isn't, hey...
Surely they would, yeah.
Yeah, this isn't a, like, hey, funny little thing or whatever, like, community challenge that they have in the game where they, like, build a hot dog and, you know, like, everyone tries it out and then you get in the front page for the next month or whatever, you know, something like that. This is, they created something that is now being used from Sony Pictures as a marketing tool. So they 100% hopefully were compensated as such. Otherwise, looks really cool. Try and boot up Dreams and give this a go, hopefully. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's cool. It's a smart idea to like use people from the community, use this game that it has like a niche audience and like obviously isn't like a massive thing, but like kind of get some extra eyes on it and that kind of thing. And it's like a cool tie-in, and like I'm sure it didn't cost them a lot to put it together. And then all those assets that they include inside the game, obviously people will be able to use in their own dreams.
Yeah,
you'll be able to put Stay Puft Marshmallow Men everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere.
If that's how you want to spend your time in Dreams. Yeah. I wonder. It's weird that they're turning the game will be unavailable in February. I wonder what that issue is. Like,
maybe they'll take it down.
Yeah.
It's a limited time event.
But does that mean all the assets will get deleted? That's the thing.
Interesting.
Find out. Anyway, cool. Boot up Dreams if you haven't for a while. Push Square. PS5 action RPG Lies of P wants to scratch your Bloodborne itch in new gameplay trailer. Inspired by the classic story of Pinocchio. You didn't think I was going to say that, did you? Lies of P first caught our attention back in May when it was announced for PlayStation 5. It's a Souls-like action RPG, and this new gameplay trailer has much more than a whiff of Bloodborne about it. The gothic style, the visceral combat, familiar stuff. Lies of P certainly has potential, though. The gameplay on show here looks rock solid, and we can't deny it as a unique premise. As far as pre-alpha footage goes, this looks pretty great. It's looking to hit PS5 in 2023. I'd never seen this before until this new alpha gameplay trailer thing went up the other day. And it is a combination of, this looks really cool, but also, it also looks very much like Bloodborne.
Wow, Dylan, any dark Victorian-based game with a sword apparently is a Bloodborne ripoff now.
I mean, yes.
Is that how it is?
That's 100% how it is. No, it's not just the setting. It's also like when they get to the combat in trailer, I'm like, fuck. And it's not to the point that like obviously they're going to get sued, but the very heavy inspiration here, or even just the way the character walks here. So video viewers, you can see it right now. The way that person just like added a blade, the giant web. There is like a heavy Bloodborne inspiration here. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying it is very noticeable. And that makes me want to play it. Because it definitely looks like Bloodborne. The setting, the movement, the characters, the design of the weapons, everything screams Bloodborne. It's kind of ridiculous.
I know. It looks more action RPG-ish than Bloodborne.
I mean, maybe it doesn't have the soul.
Less punishing.
I don't know. I mean, even if it doesn't have as punishing elements, it's just the combat and everything still looks the same. And the design of the world and everything. The enemies don't really, because they've got different elements and I don't know, they're mechanical beasts or whatever's going on here. But this definitely looks cool. I'm intrigued. I never heard this until Push Square wrote that article. I saw it yesterday or whenever. So that's cool. It's cool. Shout outs to that one. Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 temporarily removed from digital storefronts to renew licenses for archival footage. This is a weird story. So the temporary, while the publisher looks into renewing licenses, Konami will temporarily remove the two titles from PlayStation 3, PS Vita, and PS Now storefronts, as well as Xbox 360, Nintendo 3DS, and other platforms. The change will go into effect starting November 8th. Sorry, by the time you listen to this. And there is currently no confirmed return date. According to Konami's official press release, the two games are temporarily removed due to expiration of a license, specifically for the historical archival footage used in the two games. This temporary removal will apply globally and to all versions of the game of the two games, including the HD editions and the HD collections. If you already own any of the digital versions of either game, you'll still be able to re-download, but no new purchases will be allowed while they are delisted. It's weird. I've never seen like a due to historical archival licenses. So it's like footages of the real wars or whatever that they've used to combine in the like cinematics of that game. I like, who owns that? Who owns the? Do you go to a museum? Like, what's the? And
Who knows? Yeah.
And what a weird date. Also, the fact that they're running it now, like November 8th, 2021. So these games are like
Both games.
both games at the same time. So that means that Metal Gear Solid 2, they paid for like a 30-year license or whatever. I don't know. And then the second one, they're like, we won't need it as long. We'll buy a shorter one.
Let's just have the two line up. It'll be a nice deal.
Yeah.
Have it all neat so we can pay the license, the renewal fee at the same time. And then they fucked up and forgot to pay the renewal fee.
It's very weird. Very weird. I don't know. So yeah, if you were like, oh, I might buy my friend or family member the Metal Gear Solid HD collection for Christmas, too late.
Better get it physical.
Yeah, I was about to say, you better find it physically. You can probably find a pre-owned copy at EB Games or something or whatever. But yeah, what a weird thing. And then PlayStation.
Wait, just specifically on the PS3, PS Vita, PS Now, or Xbox 360 or Nintendo 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, not on any console anyone's used in the last 10 years, but,
But they're the versions that
fine.
The most played. Like the PS3 one had the HD collection.
I mean, yeah.
And that's the
If
one.
you're going to play it, that collection, you would have played it already.
Probably. It's just weird. I just don't know why. I've never seen a game get delisted for historical.
See, this is why they're working
footage.
on those remakes, so they can get rid of that archival footage.
Yeah, get some real more footage.
So they don't have to keep spending all the extra money on licensing.
Just go blow up your own shit or something. I don't know. I can guarantee it's probably like a minute or two tops of footage probably intersected into a few cutscenes.
Yeah.
And it would have been like it's just setting pieces for the actual characters of the game. It's not like you're actually watching. Or I guess presidents, maybe? I don't remember. Anyway. PlayStation Lifestyle writes, hackers are one step closer to jailbreaking the PS5. So if you care about this, I don't really care about it more so than it's just like anytime they finally crack a console, you're like, all right, well, it took them that long, Do I want to jailbreak my console? Fuck no. Hell no.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I wasn't speaking to you, fucker. Jesus Christ. Did you hear me say, I cover her mouth. Did you hear me say Siri? No, I didn't say Siri. I just said fuck off. Hacking group Failover Flow appears to have overcome a major hurdle in the pursuit of jailbreaking the PS5. In a pair of tweets today, the group says they've gotten all symmetric PS5 root keys along with screenshots for proof. They can all be obtained from software, including per console root keys. If you look hard enough, one tweet continues. This is a big step towards hackers being able to decrypt access to the PS5 firmware and begin efforts to run custom code and firmware, or in other words, jailbreak the PS5. That doesn't mean the PS5 is entirely compromised just yet, but the root keys will allow them to explore the PS5's firmware for vulnerabilities. Jailbreaking consoles are often widely used to run pirated games, which obviously the console manufacturers don't exactly want to encourage. Many who jailbreak consoles claim altruistic or allegedly quote-unquote innocent purposes, such as archiving games and sideloading different operating systems like Linux. Regarding the newly exposed PS5 root keys, Failover Flow was asked, can these be rotated easily, insinuating that Sony might try to close the exploit now that it was known, to which they replied no. At this point, it seems that it's only a matter of time before the PS5 is fully cracked. Failover Flow is the same group that cracked the PS3 back in 2010. They also cracked the PS4 to run Linux and have had a part of the constant back and forth battle between hackers and Sony for more than a decade. VGC also noted that another separate incident this weekend allowed Andy Newgman, security engineer at Google, to apparently gain access to debug settings on a retail PS5, though he has no plans at this time to share the method. He also retweeted Failover Flow's discovery. So if I don't know. What's your? do you ever like if people are like jailbreaking consoles, like figuring out how to crack them in? Do you ever like go? Because I know some people when they read these stories, you see people online worried about, I guess, their own consoles' security. But it's not really.
No. Not concerned. It seems like a lot of work for like not much gain. You know what I mean? It's like oh, I want to sideload Linux in this. Well, just use your computer. Why do you need it on your PlayStation?
Because they want to do the thing where they're like, oh look, now you can play
Get a
all your
Steam box.
You can play all your PS3 and your PS2 and your PS1 games on this PS5 now. No one cares.
No one cares.
No one actually cares.
You know, move on.
Did you ever have a
No,
at all in your life?
I never jailbroke anything.
Look at you. Look at you.
No, you could just pirate it on PC.
Look at you.
Uh,
Look at you. I mean, I had a just the PS1, but I think a lot of kids, like everyone in school did. You know what I mean? Like everyone just had the chips PS1, so you could play pirated games. And of course, when you're a kid, and you're just like, well, we rent a game and then we make a copy of it so we can play it later. Like it doesn't seem like you're doing anything wrong at all. It's like it's perfectly fine. Who knows? Like you're just making a copy of it. You're not stealing it. You give the actual game back to the store. That's not stealing. It's fine. I did. The only thing I've ever done myself was the Wii. I cracked the Wii myself, and then and that's how I did play a lot of Wii games back in the day with the legals. What's this look? You look like you're shocked. You look like you want to throw me in jail. I don't know.
I'm just disappointed, John.
Okay. Look, don't do as I did. Do as I say.
I'm waiting for the FBI to break in and take you away.
I don't think that's how it works. But like you admitted on a podcast that when you were 8 years old, you played a pirated PS1 game. Yes.
Bam! SWAT comes in.
Yeah, fucking, and like in the scheme of things people could be doing. I think it's like the equivalent of literally saying like if you're on a I
was hungry, so I stole a PS1.
No, I was gonna say it's the same as if you're like, I've smoked weed. The police don't go, you said on a podcast that you've smoked weed. That's an illegal substance. It's like, well, I was lying. Like, what are they gonna, you know what I mean? Like, no,
it was a joke.
It was a joke. No one cares. You said that you played a copy of Digimon Colosseum on PS1 and it was a burnt disc. I was just trying to flex on my friends, sir. It's not something I actually did. Yeah, but I'll never jump. I never would care to do this again. I just find it interesting. Usually just see, because you reach a day and you're like, all right, well, that's the day that happened. So now let's see how that affects everything going forward. So wait and see if they officially break it and then how Sony reacts accordingly. And if that affects numbers or games, I don't know. It's always interesting to see if you can see any sort of difference. All right, let's get into PlayStation production. The one story this week, Last of Us updates time. BleedingCool.com writes, Last of Us's Neil Druckmann wraps directing work on HBO series. Last month, series star Bella Ramsey offered fans a brief update on how things were going with Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin's upcoming HBO series adaptation of the video franchise The Last of Us. That is a fucking mouthful.
Sentence.
With Ramsey joined by Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, Gabriel Luna, Nicole Parker, Merle Danbridge, Jeffrey Pierce, Murray Bartlett, Con O'Neill, and Anna Torv. The highly anticipated series has been rolling on with filming in Canada, but we're now getting a sign that production could be nearing an end with an update from Druckmann via social media that he has wrapped his directorial work on the project and heading back to quote-unquote warmer weather. We write could be because a good chunk of that depends on exactly how many episodes Druckmann was expected to direct, considering the number of directors involved with the 10-episode adaptation. So he wrote on Insta, alas, my time in Canada has come to an end. To the best TV crew in the world, thank you for your incredible work. You're passionate for making me feel so welcome. I miss you terribly. Druckmann wrote in a caption on his Instagram post. I'm going to say that I think the show would be surely wrapping up to a degree, because I don't think he would have just been hanging around for his episode. Like, I feel like he's co-creator, right, with Craig Mazin. So... And he's a producer. He's not like a hired director for one episode. They do their episode. They're not involved with the show's production as a whole, you know? So I feel like if he's wrapping up, then the show to a degree would be also wrapping up, I feel. What do you reckon?
Potentially. I mean, yeah, maybe he's got other commitments everywhere. I don't think producers stay on sets all the time, especially if there's multiple executive producers or whatever. So, maybe he's got his thing. He needs to take a break and he has stuff to do back at Naughty Dog. He still he's still like president or whatever. So, I mean,
video games.
It's not like he doesn't have a day job.
He's just doing both. Zoom calls. Fix the frame. How many hours did you work today? 10? No, you don't get to go home. Hangs up call.
Double your hours the next week.
WO1. I'll hear from you next week, Jan. You better be working harder.
It's the other way now. You need to stop working. Stop. No, it's fine. We can just delay it till 2023. No. It's all good.
Most video game companies in 2022 is going to be like, oh, you need to go home, do you? Yeah, no, we totally encourage you to go home sick. But
no, listen, we're going to have to log your security clearance out to make sure you're at home more.
But you see that pile of chocolates over there? They're only for the people who put in work, You see this goodie bag with a bunch of free shit in it from our partners at blah, blah, blah companies? They're only for the people who work.
Love them.
Only 60. They work over 60 hours a week.
I don't
see
think
that Ferrari out front.
Overtime for chocolates.
See that Ferrari out front?
That's more like.
I didn't get that Ferrari going home after only working 8 hours a day, Jan. All right.
I don't imagine Neil Druckmann a Ferrari guy.
I don't know. I don't know. I hope Naughty Dog's done crunching, but I mean, time will tell. And that's it. Yeah, that's a big update. Neil Druckmann's going home. Series might be wrapping up. Who's to say for sure? I'm on the side of it's probably not actually all the way done, but I would assume it's getting towards the end of it. And then it's going to go into the post-production phase. I'm sure there's lots of special effects to be done and, all the usual sort of stuff. So I still reckon they could hit that. Like March. What did you say last time? You were later, weren't you? I think.
I believe so. I think it was like, yeah.
I'm still saying I reckon they could hit March if they wanted. Because I just feel like how much special effects is there really? Do you reckon? Surely to God.
I mean, it's also a scheduling thing as well.
Yeah.
For HBO.
Well, I'm saying March because I'm like, I don't know. I can't think. It's not like we got Game of Thrones or whatever. Or do we?
That's true.
That's true.
You got the new Game of Thrones series coming.
Has it got a release date? No, it's just 2022, right?
Yeah.
All right. So if they're gonna, there's no way.
I don't think there's no way those two overlap. Right?
No, there's no way they both overlap. And if they just, but are you gonna tell me right now? Have we seen a trailer for that? Did we?
You had that like.
Oh, there was a teaser thing, right? Yeah, but they haven't given the date or anything. So I don't know. I feel like Game of Thrones is bigger. Would need a longer marketing campaign, surely. Because Game of Thrones usually starts like February, I think, right? In years past.
Who knows? It's been
about
years.
It's been about 16 years. Yeah. Anyway, find out soon. Find out next year.
Are you talking about the time since George R. R. Martin released the last book, or?
No, that's 26 years.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us this week on Platinum Explosion. Let us know any comments, questions, concerns you have about the show by tweeting at us or joining our Discord. You can join our Twitter. No, you can follow us on Twitter and tweet us on Twitter. ExplosionNetwork.com/Twitter. You can join our Discord. ExplosionNetwork.com/Discord. And if you liked this episode and thought it was worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at ExplosionNetwork.com/support. You can drop $1. You can drop $10. You can drop $100. You can drop $1 million. Although if you drop $1 million, I will not refund you.
It was a mistake.
No, we're heels now. It's mine. Let us know if you want to see Ryan Betson body slam me off the side of a stage at PAX 2022. And until next week, remember that every trophy counts. Hey, don't forget you can subscribe to the show wherever you're currently listening, and you can drop a review if you can. Find more great shows like this and more content over at ExplosionNetwork.com. And please consider supporting us for as little as $1 over on our Ko-fi page by heading to ExplosionNetwork.com/support. Thanks for listening.